Everyone know why the creation of the noisy chair happened? Well, people wanted to share their story, concerns, and being loud. Well, I'm here to listen, have an opinion, and talk to people. That's what this is all about. My name is Dave, aka DJ Dave. Love being part of a new journey with amazing people on my podcast. Welcome to this edition of the Noisy Chair Podcast, Season 2, Episode 204. I'm your host, DJ Dave, and tonight we have a special guest whom we've had supported each other, in the music industry and live streaming. Please welcome DJ Allan Spencer to the studio. Allan, thanks for coming down, man.
Not a problem, man. Look forward to it.
This is great. It's been a while since we last spoke. You've been, I guess the last time you came to the studio, it was under construction and
yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Music is a big part of our life, and you've got a new family, and your partner, she's a musician as well. So music will always be in your household.
Oh yeah,
right?
Our child loves it too.
Does she?
Oh yeah, she dances when I go. She's like starts bouncing like this with her hand in the air.
That's awesome. And she doesn't walk yet, but she's just bopping away.
Bop.
Yeah,
she bops.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great, man. Her name is Freedom.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, and we'll talk all about that during the podcast. I'm glad you're here. I just want to go through with things of you and what you've been up to, and where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Mississauga, Ontario.
Oh, hey, man, we're right here.
Yeah, right around the corner, and I'm back there now. So.
Are you okay?
Yeah. So
it didn't take that long to get down here, I guess.
No, half hour.
Okay, so you're more south end of Mississauga?
Yeah.
Right on. Cool, man. So when you first started with music, who influenced you? When did you start knowing that you're going to be into music?
For me, it was like early hip hop. That's when I really started liking music.
Yeah.
Like Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, BDP, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I listened to Appetite for Destruction, and my whole world changed.
Yeah, that could be an influence,
Yeah.
But we always have the hip hop still in our blood. The old school hip hop is always, to me, it's like the true music, true vocals, true lyrics.
Yeah, they tell stories,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So even down to like Eminem when he tells a story, or everybody at that age, at that era. That's and I still play that at parties, and I'm sure you still pop in a few of those old school hip hops at gigs.
Sometimes I just play a set of it for some fun, right? Yeah.
At what age did you feel that or you got into DJing?
DJing was only, like 5 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe 6 years
really,
ago.
Really,
Yeah. I stopped listening to music totally for a while.
Yeah.
Divorce, bad times.
Yeah.
And then I was at a friend's place and he was DJing, and I don't know, I went there 3 hours a day listening to him and started driving around listening to music, and I was like, hey, mind if I try this? This is history, right?
This is it. That's good, man. So you're just okay. I thought you were like right into it when you were a kid.
No. Well, I went raving and clubbing and stuff.
Yeah, you're involved in the music.
I was always a guy counting to 8 or 16, waiting for the next thing to come in. So I guess
you were studying it. Yeah, you're studying it. Yeah, that's all right. That's good.
Yeah.
The high school side of things, and this was all during high school, or this is all like before or after high school? Like what happened during high school?
During high school, I just listened to rock, went to a lot of concerts.
Yeah.
Music wasn't as big of a part of my life as it is now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a late bloomer. It's okay. It's all good, man. Mm-hmm. I thought you were really into it back then, which is fine. Hey, listen, we all find things out, which is great. Some people had it since they were kids. Some people had it since, just previous. So it's good. Who's one of your favorite artists?
Paul McCartney.
Yeah. So still the rock and roll.
Yeah,
and
I like my rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have fun going out partying. I like house music.
Yeah.
Hip hop, but it still comes back to rock in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The roots.
Yeah.
The roots.
I'm with a rock star, so that kind of helps too.
Yes, you are. And we'll talk about your partner and obviously go to all her gigs.
As many as I can. I mean, in Mexico, we could take Freedom anywhere. I mean,
Right.
all the gigs were like 3:00 in the afternoon, 4:00, and in Mexico, there's more babies and dogs in the bar than people. So,
And so let's talk about your partner. So we'll give her a shout out.
No. Okay, her name is Robin Benedict.
Mm-hmm.
Robin Benedict is her voice is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to check her out, it's Robin Benedict Music at robinbenedictmusic.com. She's going to kill
Right.
me.
We're gonna put all those links up afterwards.
Okay.
I listened to her. I listened when you guys were in Mexico, and her voice is phenomenal. I love the raspiness. I love the Joan Jett, which is great. And does she write her own music as well?
Yeah, she plays mostly her own music.
Oh, she does, eh?
Yeah.
Very little cover.
Well, she'll do covers if she
Yeah.
has a gig and people want to hear it. But
Right.
her goal coming back to Canada was finishing her third album, I believe it is.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's
So
excellent.
she's got a band here that they did 4 songs the day we left for Mexico.
Yep.
We went right from the studio to the airplane. And then, and then we came back, and I guess they're getting together to work on the rest of the album.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Have you DJed alongside her before?
We throw parties together. Yeah. She'll
Okay.
open up with some rock, and then we'll get into the faster shit. Yeah. We do
Yeah.
that all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. I like that. When you were, I know you and I knew each other before the pandemic, and I really didn't know that you started DJing, before that, right? And it's probably like a year and a half before pandemic, right? So it's like 5-6 years, whatever, or a couple years before pandemic.
Yeah. I really just kind of started DJing then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, because it's we talk a lot, and and I had the platform of Life TV and Life Radio that you're a part of, and I appreciate that. And Life Radio is still on. Life TV, I just sort of you can't compete against Twitch.
No.
And it just got really saturated with a lot of DJs on Twitch, good and bad. I mean, a lot of DJs are still playing it, and they're still doing their thing, which is fine. I don't know about you, but I've stopped doing that a bit. I sort of toned down a bit on that. What's your take
I haven't done a
on
live
it?
stream in forever.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's just not the same as playing for people.
Yeah.
Well,
it's always that. I mean, we never.
Yeah.
Playing for people is way better, obviously, but
then I think I did so many live streams in the first couple of years. I just don't want to do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're always in it. Like, you're like, okay, I'm going to do a live stream today. Okay, no problem. We'll get you set up. And, it was always, it was a trial and error. It was like fixing the bugs and all this other technology stuff. But yeah, you were live streaming quite a bit. I would associate your style, first when you started off DJing was more like, you were getting, the house beat with the rock lyrics, or the old school classic rock sound with the housey beat to it, which I love that. Whether it's an 80s alternative, new wave, whatever. I always love to try out the different beats with the old school stuff on there, right? And
I used to do a lot of that.
yeah, I know. That's what. Where I listen to you, I mean, you're probably the only one of the DJs that would play that stuff. Most of the other DJs were just more housey stuff, and I get that. It's their own style, right? So, and I appreciate the support on that platform. And I just, I just couldn't compete when Twitch, I think Amazon bought Twitch, and then that was it. I mean, you can't compete with the technology they have in order to make things work. So, did you start a company called Rhythm Alliance, or is it?
No, it's I was doing the global quarantine radio thing.
Yep.
And then a guy, Jason Costello from Maine, him and I just started talking on the phone,
Yeah.
and then that's his company.
That's his company. Okay.
Yeah.
So are you still doing work for them, or?
I haven't in a while, but that's because when I moved, I kind of stopped even playing for a few months while Freedom was this big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she born here?
She's Mexican.
Okay. So tell us a bit about that. So you basically, probably was 2019, right?
It's 2020.
2020? Okay.
Yeah.
So when it started to...
No. 2021, I moved to Mexico.
Oh, you did, eh?
Yeah, it was September.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit.
Yeah.
So, I know that, I follow you on your feed and your social media, and you got some cool shit on there with a lot of good music. Then you have a lot of your political views, which I find interesting, because everyone has their views about a lot of things, and that's why the topic of this podcast was called political mashup. So because you love doing the mashup with the rock and the housey beats, and you're into the political stuff, so I figure we can all mix this up and have a good conversation about it. Well, I guess when COVID hit and they decided to really shut down shit. What was going on in your head about this?
I figured a window opened for exposure, so let's jump in it.
Now, what do you mean by exposure? Like, what were you doing?
I was just DJing from bedroom and stuff, right?
Right.
And everywhere shut down, and I didn't believe anything that was happening.
Yeah.
I didn't believe I was going to get sick by being around people.
Right.
So I seen a window to start throwing some parties for the people that weren't sitting at home.
Yeah.
And
outside parties.
Yeah, not inside.
Yeah. Yeah, because I saw that you were, there's a lot of parties you were throwing outside, Cherry Beach, and there was those two idiots with the chainsaws.
Oh, yeah, I got chased with the chainsaw. That was fun.
That was your night?
It was my birthday party.
So what went down on that? Like what happened on that? I know we can read on Blog TO, but like your take, you're there having a great time, and these two fuckers come through.
Those guys apparently were there all night, but I don't remember them till morning after the party was over. Like they were there like late.
Like enjoying the party?
They were at the party,
yeah.
Apparently, but it was like daylight. Party was over. Almost everyone was gone home, but
right.
we had a couple of us just sitting around playing music.
Yeah.
It was a good time. There was a few hundred people there. It went well. And they started requesting drum and bass songs. I'm like, buddy, I can't play it because it's record box formatted. I don't have
right.
it. And then they throw the equipment on the ground. Jesus. We pick it up. We should have just stopped playing there and went.
Right.
And then the party was done. I walked away. I was up in a tent with a couple people hanging out.
Yeah.
And then I heard a commotion, and then I ran back like an idiot, thinking, I'm going to save the world. So I'm running. I'm like, I see Omari go, chainsaw. I'm like, what? I'm still running towards them. Someone else yells, chainsaw.
Yeah.
I get like 10 feet. It's like the movie Predator, right? I zoom in. I see the chainsaw. I see them. I'm like, oh, fuck. I can beat them to it.
Yeah.
No, they pick up the chainsaws. I'm like, I start running away. They're chasing me, but if they can catch me with a chainsaw in their hand, they belong in the Olympics. Like, they're not going to catch me, so I just keep mouthing off. Then I turn around, and then cops have guns out. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, cop, drop your weapon. I'm like, oh. I turn around. I'm like, how's your chainsaws now? No, but they, man, my theory on that is they were planted. We were doing the protest thing. Chris Sky's name was associated with our party because that's how we were legally allowed to do it, is that you say it was a protest. It wasn't a protest. We just wanted to throw a jam.
Right.
But that associated the whole anti-mask thing with the Cherry Beach thing. So that night, like, cops came up to us 4 times tonight, and they never did this, said, if anyone shady comes around, you have our number, make sure you give us a call.
Really, eh?
Yeah, and then right before they left, they walked all the way back to the parking lot again to tell us again. Now, the one guy was a tattoo artist for like 10 of my friends I found out after. He was on probation.
Wow. One of the chainsaw guys?
Yeah, he never served a minute.
Really?
And he got caught chasing me with a chain. So that, to me, there's more to the story than...
Right.
Yeah.
Were they living there?
No, I don't know
Yeah.
them. But the guy had blood all over the back of his head. Something happened to him.
Yeah, either got beat up or...
Yeah, he was chased. They were on a mission with those chainsaws.
Yeah.
Apparently, he got hit in the head, and they went to the parking lot and came back. But I don't know. Poor Omari, he went for breakfast. He came back. He was standing by his equipment. He turned around, and the guy was...
Yeah, I saw a picture of it. I seen EJ in half.
Yeah, but he didn't even know what was going on. He just got back from breakfast, and he turns around. He's like,
Wow. So the cops came, the rest of these guys, party stopped.
Yeah,
and that was it.
The party was over anyway.
Yeah.
It was daytime.
Yeah,
There's
it was
families
morning.
around. Like, the party ended hours before. There's just a few of us hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the take on having a party there? Is it just at your own risk? Generators and...
Well, we weren't supposed to use generators. That's how they shut you down. So We provided the homeless encampment a generator.
Okay.
And then dug a hole from their place to underneath our table.
And put your cord through there?
Yeah, and I used the Denon Prime Go, right?
Yeah.
And Omari had battery packs. So the battery packs would last till the cops' shift ended at 1:30. After the shift ended, it was fine. They all just walked off the beach.
Yeah.
And then we'd go till morning. But once they ended, we just plugged everything in.
So everything was running off the battery power beforehand.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then there's last year I got breaking the Emergency Act summons for a year in jail and $100,000.
You?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We threw a party in May, and I don't know. I wasn't very nice to the police when they showed up.
But the Emergency Act?
Yeah. So it was a summons.
Yeah.
I thought it was a ticket. I crumpled it up and threw it in the cop's face. And then I called the bylaw officer the next day and said, yeah, what was that ticket? And he's like, that wasn't a ticket, bud. That was a summons. And he sent me a picture of it.
Oh, shit.
It had a court date on it. And it was $100,000 a year in jail was a max fine.
Jeez.
I knew I wouldn't serve a second of it. It's all bullshit to me.
Yeah,
it's nonsense. So when I called into court, they're like, Mr. Spencer, can you call back? Can you call back? Can you call back? Finally, I call back again in 4 hours, and they're like, yeah, we can't seem to find your charge. I'm like, oh, no, really? And I act surprised. Wow. It was all nonsense. But they stopped me from throwing parties for a few months.
Yeah.
So mission accomplished, right?
I guess they just want to try to get you to stop doing the parties and make it a big stink about the no masks and all that sort of stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you're not still affiliated with Chris Guy and that
no,
and his thing?
No. I haven't been forever. People still associate me with him, but no.
Yeah.
No, not forever.
Right. Anyways, forget him. I don't want to give him any more fucking airtime. This shit.
Exactly.
You know, how many parties did you throw after that?
Well,
like a half a dozen parties?
No, it was every weekend, every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Yeah, and then I split off from that because I don't know. I just said, Omari, you do that.
Yeah.
And I went like literally right beside Cherry Beach because I knew all the cops would be at Cherry Beach. Yeah. So I went right beside it and I threw my own parties for 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were pretty big ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had all the cops in attention. He's going to kill me when he hears this. He had all the cops in it. He knows what I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he knew.
He had all the attention and I just,
You played music.
Yeah.
You played music, right?
Yeah.
When all that shit went down and we couldn't do anything about it and we had to follow the fucking rules and all that type of shit. And like I listen, I have my doubts and beliefs and and that sort of stuff. And I was so upset with this mom pa shops that decided that they can't reopen, they can't survive, and they closed down. So I mean, I know there was a reason for all this shit. Yeah. Okay, and I don't want to spend hours talking about this because that's not what we want to hear talk about. But we all know our opinions on it. But more for you, like when you were still doing the DJing, lighting up the parties, the no masks, and just obviously you're not being reckless about it, you're just being how it was before, how just normal people coming out to have a good time.
If one person came up to me and said that they got deathly ill from my party, I wouldn't have thrown one more party.
Yeah, I
was saying, give it to me.
Yeah,
show me it's real.
Yeah.
That's all I was doing. If one person had came out to me and said they got sick, I would have been done.
Yeah.
No one did. So.
Yeah, no, listen, I mean, I get it. I mean, I get what you're saying. And, obviously a lot of people listening to this will probably disagree with you.
Yeah, I've heard it all.
And yeah, I mean, I'm sure you got a ton of haters that are still bothering you or that did bother you.
No, they did.
Well,
not anymore.
Not anymore. No. Okay, whatever. I mean, it's all good. Like everything else, it passes. Whatever. So, so I get it. I mean, I don't know.
No, there's nothing malicious about it. It's
no.
just what I thoroughly looked into and believed.
Right.
It's not like I was just going on a whim.
Yeah.
Everyone always thinks we want to be right on this side of the argument. No, we don't want to be right. If anything, we spend countless hours trying to prove ourselves wrong.
Right.
But, it's not looked at that way.
Yeah, no, it isn't.
But a lot's changing now, right? People, for a while, couldn't disagree on anything without fighting and arguing about it. Where that seems to be changing a little bit as well, right?
And that's what a lot of people were pissed off about is the fact that everybody was fighting about this shit, you know, and not discussing it, not realizing it, or just understanding it. They're just right away. They're just like, no, fuck you. It's not. This is what it's going to be. This is what it is. We got to do this. We got to do that, or else, you know, they're gonna, you know, whatever, take our passports away or whatever the fuck it is going to be, right? So, I was like on the fence of a lot of things because, you know, I have a family, boys, and I've got, you know, everyone loves to travel and that sort of stuff. So I had to, you know, follow the rule because we wanted to travel. Okay. And at first I told my wife and my kids, we're not jabbing ourselves. We're not taking it. Okay. Let's just hold off until, you know, until hopefully people understand that this is not what it is. But, you know, when the pressure comes to you, you know, especially with the fact that now it's like, you know, we wanted to travel and we didn't know when this was going to stop. And we kind of sort of believe the fact that, yes, it will stop, but maybe it won't. Maybe they're still going to fuck us with all this bullshit. So we had to, you know.
They could try again.
You know, they could try again. Exactly.
Flu season's coming.
Right? Flu season, you know, every quarter, whatever, like winter, spring, and I get that, right? I do believe that strand, whatever it is, was pretty hefty in the beginning. I think. I mean, maybe not, because I have a couple of people that did get you know, the COVID-19, and it put them in the hospital. Whether their immune system was weak or compromised or something was going on.
It still happened.
It's right. Yeah. So it happened. Right. And I get that. So I still, to me, I believe that strand was a little bit more severe than a normal flu strand, whatever. That's just my thought about it. But, you know, I just didn't like the whole aspect of shutting the business down. And I've talked about it many times before that I didn't think that this was the reason why. There was a reason of shutting businesses down. I get that. But to go back to you, when did you so during the COVID period, were you here or did you end up packing up and going to Mexico?
I was here until they called the election on September 20th of 2021.
Right.
And Robin was very pregnant.
Okay.
And
where'd you meet her? Where did you meet Robin?
She was the singer at the protests in Toronto. And
I
was the DJ at the protests in Toronto. Hence the name of the baby, Freedom.
Yeah.
Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So us being unvaccinated, we knew that I wouldn't be allowed in a hospital if something went wrong.
Right.
And Trudeau was being a little nutty about the whole jab thing.
Right.
So the second he called an election, I was just like, let's get the hell out of here.
Okay.
And then Poncho, who was with me in Toronto, I knew him from DJing. I met him DJing. He was moving back home to Puerto Vallarta.
Okay.
And he said, you want to come with me? So, yeah, we went. Then our friend Kara was dating him, came. Now she's pregnant in Mexico. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So we came back so Robin can work on her career and, Freedom can meet her grandfather.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
But when
I'm happy we're back. I mean, I know everyone here, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But when you were down there, though, life was simple. Somewhat.
Yeah, it was great.
Everyday life is simple there.
Mm-hmm.
You like you said, you got the gigs during the day, so Freedom, she can be there with you guys.
Yeah, and then it was honestly, life was simple. It was cheap.
Yeah.
I just ran out of money.
Is that what? Okay.
Yeah, I had enough money saved from selling almost everything I have, and Robin selling almost everything, and then she had gigs maybe 3-4 times a week in high season.
Oh, that's good.
High season went away, and then they really don't pay anything.
They don't, eh?
It would be enough to live.
Yeah.
In Mexico, but when it's low season, not so much, right? They're giving 2,000 pesos to split between 4 people,
right?
And then tips.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, in high season, it might only be 5,000 or 6,000 pesos in tips, but you're making like $150 a person,
right?
Right, which you can live. I told you what I was paying for rent. I mean, you could live off that easily.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but then the gigs went away once tourists went away.
That's when, so that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, when we couldn't fly, we couldn't go out anywhere, it affected Mexico because wasn't there some places that you could still go to?
They had masks and stuff everywhere. It was like You go into your Costco's, your big chain stores, there's always a person at the door saying wear a mask.
Yeah.
Whatever. Those guys are getting paid $10 a day. They're doing their job. They need to feed their kid.
Yeah.
Right? But if you want to avoid it, you go to the little markets, you go in tourist areas. They don't. But they tried to put in a Vax Pass. It lasted 3 days because like 20 businesses were checking people and the other business was like, no. And after 3 days, it was no. Everything open again.
Everything open again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same thing would have happened here.
Yeah.
If people just stayed open.
Right.
Then they can't police everyone.
They can't police everybody.
Mm-hmm. The government came out and said, oh, well, we changed our mind. It's not needed.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because no one was listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And that's in the heart of that whole bullshit. Mm-hmm. There are places that were threatened by, if they had a small business where they were serving alcohol, threatened with their liquor license revoked, and that's and they had that was a bullshit.
Yeah. But that's only because if only one person stayed open on a block, they could be easily dealt with.
Yeah.
If the whole block stayed open, they wouldn't have been dealt with. Right? People just stood out. The Adamson's barbecues and the Huff Gyms of the world, they stood out like sore thumbs because everyone else was closed.
Right.
You stomp on them.
Well, they did, and they did. But it's like such a hard effort to get everybody to comply with that, to stay open. I would stay open, but it's also, you cannot stay open if people are like saying, no, I got to close because I don't want to get fined and all that shit, right? So what do you do? Like
that Adamson barbecue day, I parked my car at Costco.
Yeah.
Walked past a Costco that was capacity to walk past 50 cop cars, 3 horse units that were attacking a barbecue business that had 40 people in it.
Yeah.
But Costco had 1,000 people in it.
Yeah.
Where's the logic?
Exactly. Money.
Yeah, exactly.
Money. And and to me, it's like, I'm always about revolution, revolting. I'm about that, stand up for your rights, stand up for your freedom, stand up for what you think you believe in, and what is right, not what you believe in, but I think what is right. As the economy started to, or people started to understand the fact that enough's enough, and they get rid of, especially at the airport, they started getting rid of all the Vax passes and all that sort of stuff. And I tell you a quick little thing is that, when they wanted you to show proof of vaccination or second vaccination, whatever the fuck it is, so I took my family out to a restaurant in Guelph. So we drive all the way out there to this real good restaurant, which I won't name because I'm not giving them any fucking airtime because they're idiots. So we get there and all of us, we had the picture of the fucking Vax Pass, but my youngest, he didn't have his phone with him. So everything was on his phone. So my wife didn't have it on her phone and that sort of stuff, which we should have. But anyways, that's not the point. It's their own responsibility, right? That manager would not give us a seat. 5 people, probably going to spend $300, on a night that they had maybe 4 or 5 people there, and he would not let us. He would not sit us down, and we said, okay, you know what? Fuck you. See you later. We go to the other restaurant down the road that was more, we walk in and we just told them straight out, listen, we have all our passes except one kid doesn't have it. She's like, I don't fucking care. Just get in here.
Well, it's all who's working.
Right?
Same with the borders. Same with it's all who's working.
It's all who's working.
I mean, I used to get angry about it. I understand. I mean, people are scared. They don't want to lose their life, like their life savings, their life, their business, their job, whatever it is, right? But I don't know. It was maybe handled wrong at first when we're walking around yelling at people about Well, you got to think. All of us got ostracized from our friend groups, our communities, our jobs. Some people lost their kids, their families.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, we came at it wrong at first by taking an aggressive stance against people who took an aggressive stance against us.
Yeah.
Where you don't win anything like that, right?
Right.
Yeah. Everyone had their own reasons for acting the way that they acted in that time frame.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
I had already lost my job.
Because of this?
Not on paper, but I mean,
Okay.
yeah, they knew that I was protesting and that I didn't believe in it all. Meanwhile, I have to watch people wash their hands while I'm making, you know what I'm like.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I sat in my office for 9 months hiding from going out on a floor wearing a mask. So
Right.
yeah, I'm surprised I lasted that long.
Yeah.
So it was easy for me to stand up for it.
Right.
I mean, I had no job and I had no marriage, no child at the time,
Right.
whatever. I was in a position where I was able to stand up and do what I felt was right.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have those pressures that a lot of people may have had.
Did you decide that you want to start getting more into the protesting aspect of it?
That's what I started with. I mean, I think it's kind of useless in the long run, but it did get a bunch of like-minded people that didn't have a social group at that time to get together,
Yeah.
to meet, to mingle.
Yeah.
And from 2020 came 2021 where, we all kind of met our tribe at that point. Little groups separated. Like now it's more about community building and,
Right.
so like just, it's not what it was in the start. I don't
Yeah.
I go to protest now if I'm going to play some music or Robin's going to play.
Right.
That's it. I'm not
Yeah.
walking around the city.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
chanting.
If you were just going to, if it was more the music side of things, just
Now
play
it
some
is.
music,
At first it was, well, actually that's a lie. At first it was just because, I'll go play some music. And I believed what they were saying.
Right.
Now, no, I can't be bothered, man.
Yeah.
Like I went to one of them 3 weeks ago. I played some music. I mean, go do your things, guys. I'm not marching. I'll stay here with the music.
When you were marching, did you get arrested?
I got a ticket for being on the back of a truck DJing because I had no seatbelt.
That's all they gave you.
That's all. And
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
The guy's name was Officer T. Watt.
T. Watt.
A twat gave me a ticket. I couldn't believe it. It was T. Watt was his name.
You must have went off on
I
that.
didn't even notice until 2 weeks later. It was Officer T. Watt.
Oh my God, Mr. Twat.
If I had noticed that, I would have been all over it.
Like posted right on the. Oh man.
No, I never got a ticket for any of that.
Yeah.
No, only the organizers of those got tickets.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
When you were playing the music, so you're just like, listen, you're there to play the music, and that's the whole. I guess, for the DJing side of things, were you always going to try to continue to DJ?
Oh yeah.
And stick with that.
Yeah, I love DJing.
Yeah.
I wish I did more of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like now I'm back. I did Soul Shine, which is
Hey, tell us about that. I saw it on the Facebook, on your posts and stuff like that.
Soul Shine's the most incredible weekend ever. It depends on what you're into, but it's a lot of sound healing and breath work and seminars, and they got like free massages and all these things.
So mental health and
But then in the evening they have rock shows.
Yep.
And then at night we have the rave forest. Yeah.
Is that where all the lights were playing and
Oh, that's where this year they moved me way into the forest because I was too loud last year and the campers got mad. But, so then they moved this year. You had to walk for 20 minutes to get there.
Oh, Jesus.
And this year they were still mad. I said next year they're going to move me to Lindsay, Ontario, and we're going to have to bus people over.
Get a little shuttle bus.
Yeah, my set was supposed to be till 4 a.m. and they come over. I'm like, I'm not shutting down.
Yeah.
I shut down at 8:30 though.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, I went till 8:30.
People still jamming out there.
There was at 8:30. There was
10,
12 people.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Some stragglers, but you had something good there.
Oh yeah. I
Awesome.
turned into a wizard at about 5. Somehow I ended up with a wizard hat. Yeah, see that?
I saw that picture with his cigarette hanging in your mouth there. Yeah.
Like that was hour 7. I turned into a wizard.
So this Soul Shine festival, it was more like holistic and spiritual healing and that sort of stuff, right? Did they have? Is that their main focus? It was not the music side of things, or is it just more?
It's both. I mean, it's meant to be a retreat with music.
Right. Okay.
Right. And they feed you all weekend. I mean,
Okay.
it's all vegan food if people are into that. I mean, I'll eat whatever. I'm not fussy.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy with the renegade meat stand in the forest, though.
Barbecue going on.
Right? No, but they feed you. You get camping. You get 3 days of music.
Yeah.
And it was a great time, man. I love it there.
That's
was
awesome.
That's my favorite weekend of the year. 2 years in a row was great.
This is the second annual?
Yeah, it was the second annual.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, that's great. I thought the videos, the pictures look great. Did it rain or was it a good weekend?
It rained a little bit, I believe, but not much. Yeah, just a little bit.
But it's all campers, all tents, and
it's all tents, and there's some bunkies and stuff too.
Yeah.
That's mainly for like crew.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, man. I mean, that's you'll do it again next year.
Oh yeah, I go up for a week ahead of time, help set everything up, and work with them.
Awesome. Cool. Well, at least you're supportive of you. I mean,
no, it's buddies. That's people that all met protesting and then just separated from the protests, and now everyone's doing their own thing. Now they're building their own communities, right?
Right. Okay. So sometimes it's a good thing that comes out of all this, right?
Yeah, definitely. It had its purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you been across the border yet since you've been back from Mexico?
No, I haven't. But coming back,
yeah.
We avoided.
How was it coming back?
We avoided the fines because we decided to fly into Calgary.
Okay.
Because I knew in Toronto, it would be a shit show. But we flew into Calgary. In Mexico, they're like, "Do you have your Arrive can?" I'm like, "I'm not filling out a Arrive can. I don't need to fill out a Arrive can to go home." Right. They weren't going to let us on the plane, and then I guess I don't know whether they got sidetracked or got sick of fighting. We had to download something for freedom because she's Mexican.
Right.
She's not. She's going into Canada as a Mexican, so we downloaded it. We went back, and then they let us on the plane. When we landed in Calgary, with this poor kid, he's like, "Sir, did you fill out your?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Whoa." He's like, "Look, man." He leans into me. He's like, "I don't care if you fill this thing out." He goes, "I don't care. I know you're not going to quarantine." He goes, "There's a manual form over there. Just put your name on it and any phone number and address. I don't care."
That's it. Eh?
Yeah, this kid wanted none of it.
He wanted none of this.
I'm like, well, that was a good decision to spend a couple $100 more to come here and fly home. Because our friend Kara got $12,000 in fines.
Wow.
A bunch of people that came back. Because there's a lot of... a few Toronto people were there with us. Most of them were in Playa.
Right.
Yeah, but everyone was getting $6,000 fines. I mean, they're toilet paper. They'll never hold up. But still the aggravation of being in the airport arguing about nonsense for 3 hours.
Yeah.
So we avoided... Yeah, it's just... And I would have had a kid there. No.
Oh, God.
No, I was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay the couple $100 more to fly there.
Yeah, fly to Calgary and go to Toronto was fun. Yeah.
So actually flying to Toronto from Calgary is no problem.
Yeah, because you went through your customs already in Calgary.
Right.
So it was just a domestic flight.
How was that landing? You're like, oh, fuck, I'm here. I'm home.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. Jeez. It was a long 12 hours with the baby.
Wow.
She was a champ, but it was still long.
Yeah, she's strong, man. Jesus. Robin, she's from here?
Yeah, she's from Mississauga, but Binbrook, Hamilton area is where she lived most of the time.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah,
cool,
that's
man.
where she started her music, was in Hamilton.
Awesome. Love the name Freedom. Obviously that's where you named her because of I guess the whole...
Yeah, it was everything.
It's everything.
Running to Mexico for a while.
Did any of the Mexican officials try to get you or try to stop you or...
I had no problem at all.
Because like you're the only you were either a tourist, but you were working there, right?
No, man, I'd sold everything I owned to go take an 11-month free maternity leave.
So basically, you're just spending money there. Is what it was.
Yeah.
Not living there, like not permanently, and not working there. Just
no. Robin was working, doing gigs. I didn't do anything. I that's a lie. Towards the end, I threw a couple parties, but I didn't. I took a long time off.
Yeah. 11 months, eh?
Yeah, it was getting so hot when we left. Well, we would have been back in May, but to get Freedom's Mexican ID took us like 5 months.
It did, eh?
Yeah, because our midwife was not certified. Therefore, the Mexican government didn't recognize her statement of birth.
Oh, shit.
So after all that time, a friend that we met in Mexico helped us out, and he drove to Nayarit, the next province over, or state, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And then apparently, we got it within a week after some payments. And
exactly. A little corruptive paperwork.
And then we had to show the guy the birth video to prove it's like, we're not stealing a fucking kid. But yeah, whatever. He took his 4,000 pesos, which is a couple $100.
Yeah.
And then...
How was the crime there, anyways?
In Vallarta, it was nothing.
Nothing.
No, I felt safer walking around the streets there at 4 a.m. than I would
did,
ever
eh?
hear. Yeah, it was fine.
Fuck.
I was with a tourist in a tourist city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I was in Mexico City, I probably wouldn't have walked around at 4 a.m. by myself. But
Yeah.
No, Vallarta was fine. And the street meat there, oh my God.
Good food, eh?
To die for. It's not like stupid sausages everywhere. No, it's like no matter what time of the day, you got different stands open serving you great food.
Nice.
Yeah, and cheap.
And cheap.
You know, $4, you eat this massive plate of tacos. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I figure like with the weather being so nice down there, you would just like, I'm going to live down here.
It's just it wasn't like we get citizenship with freedom,
right?
But we already waited that long to get her ID. It's like we just got home. We'll deal with that after.
Okay.
But
plans on going back or what?
I don't think to live permanently, but it's nice to have a backup plan if shit hits.
Yeah, for
here,
sure.
Right?
I mean, do you still get like the like the bars say, hey, when you gonna come back down or
no? But our social group down there is always, when you coming back?
That's awesome.
Our entire social group is retired.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. A lot of retired Canadians down there.
What was the protocol down there? There wasn't any like mask mandates, and were they really
there when we first got there? There was, but it depends on what store or where you work in. Like most places were fine. I mean, we got kicked out of a secondhand store for not wearing a mask. We're like, really?
I'm going to spend some money. You want to kick me out? Okay, fine, whatever.
Okay, whatever. We'll just go across the road.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But like I told you, the Vax Pass they tried for 3 days and it went away.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, when we left in Nayarit, they still had masks. So you had to go into OXXO or anywhere. You had to put a mask on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so like backwards. It's not backwards. It's just like everything's all over the fucking map now with what's going on and what mask, what's this, what's that. Like it's just like so chaotic of what this bullshit is about. It created chaos.
The main difference in Mexico to here was there wasn't the animosity amongst peers and neighbors. I'm out with my neighbor. They don't speak a word of English. I'm out on Christmas Eve. They're handing me booze. We're out in the middle of the street playing with their kids. Everyone got along. Everywhere you went, everyone was friendly. Nobody was saying, "Are you vaxxed?"
No segregation, nothing.
No, nobody, nothing. Everyone was friendly with one another.
Yeah.
Where here, there's such, it's animosity. It's
it
anger.
Is.
It's ridiculous.
It's divided. I mean, I know. And that's why, to me, honestly, that is what our government wanted us to do.
Oh, 100%. If I'm ever going to take over the world, I want to hire who they hired.
Right?
Like 2 weeks. Separated in 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. The convoy to Ottawa, were you part of that?
I would have been had I have been here, but no, we were in Mexico at the time.
You were in Mexico, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we were watching. We were, a lot of our friends were there. Yeah, that looked pretty hectic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any what's your take on that?
Did it accomplish anything?
Didn't accomplish fuck all.
No.
It
made somebody a butt fuck load of money.
Of course it did.
Yes. Where did all the GoFundMe money go? And the Give Send Go money go? Where'd it go?
Did it go back? Did it get refunded to each person?
No, it didn't.
So who the fuck makes that money?
Exactly.
Right? How many millions?
There was 8 in the GoFundMe, and I think Give Send Go was about the same, which they started after the GoFundMe got froze.
Fuck. Drives me crazy when I hear shit like that, you know?
I definitely would have been there, but not because I think it would have accomplished anything. I don't think you accomplished shit from peaceful protests.
Yeah. Well,
nothing.
Well,
what I accomplished was a family out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That for me, I'm happy with that, right?
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, but it was a peaceful protest.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I had one of my workers at my office there went there.
You see what the news spun it as, though?
Right.
Right? Like ridiculous.
And
they were actually feeding the homeless and shoveling the streets that they were on, and they were being blamed for causing crime, but Ottawa crime went down 99% or something like that in those couple weeks.
Yeah, and I think even the chief of police for Ottawa admitted afterwards saying, you know what? I don't even know what, like, it wasn't like that. It was fucking peaceful.
There's bouncy castles, for Christ's sake.
Right?
How bad was it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to get into much of that, but I mean, I always want to find out what, you know, just the whole political side from you, like you're taking it, because it's pretty interesting. You got a lot of, like, you've seen it. You're outspoken about it. You talk about it. You've never been arrested about it, which is great. But you had friends who DJ'd at this convoy.
Yeah, Omari, my beloved DJ partner.
And he was there the whole time DJing?
No, he went for the first weekend only.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a car, so to get there.
Yeah.
But it looked pretty crazy. There's a lot of people there. It would have been fun.
I saw videos. Everyone was having a fucking great time, man.
Cold as shit. But,
yeah, I know. That's the only thing. You can't.
I was sitting on a beach in Mexico watching it on my cell phone.
You're like, the sand.
Yeah, I'd love to be there, but yeah.
No, I know.
No.
I know. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. I thought it didn't accomplish anything. It accomplished, to me, it woke up a lot of, it brought a lot of perspective to people across Canada.
Actually, yeah, you know what? From that aspect, it did. You had every overpass filled with people,
and
all across the country.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it did unite people in a way that they hadn't been in a long time. So
yeah, it did. And that's the unity was there for it. Unfortunately, it was when they brought that emergency act or whatever that act they brought out, where they could just give anybody the ability, or the cops the ability to fucking.
They freezing single mothers' bank accounts because they gave a $25 donation to the convoy. Yeah.
Whatever happened to that? You know,
I'm not 100% sure. I know they got rid of the act.
I know they got rid of the act.
Yeah, but.
And I don't think those guys that were dressed looking like fucking SWAT tactic guys were even police officers. You know? So, anyways, it's just bullshit. But I'm sure this will be taken down when this airs, but who knows? Who cares? So what's your plan up here? Like, what are you going to do now that you've got a family? You've got, you got a partner who's singing. She's doing gigs. You got a daughter. What's your plans for you and your family?
Well, right now, a lot of it's supporting Robin through the making of her album and through her gigging.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get some gigs here and there. I mean, I've played Soulshine and a party the other day. I got another party coming up Halloween.
Right on.
But I haven't really gone out looking for club gigs or anything like that.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of hard. You get up at 7 a.m. with a little one.
I've been there, man.
Mind you, I would. I am not saying I do from time to time.
But it's tough, you know?
Yeah.
And I think with the clubs that have sort of closed down and now you just have smaller clubs that are popping up here and there. There's a lot of people playing these clubs, so it's hard to hustle to get these gigs, right?
That's the networking is what I don't have time for.
Right.
And going and kissing the ring finger to 50 people to try to get on somewhere. I don't have time for that.
No, I know.
Whatever's going to work out, however it's going to work out, it's going to work out.
That's awesome.
Something will fall into place.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man, you got a little one to look forward to growing up, and which is great. So you live in Mississauga, and work-wise, are you working?
I'm working with a buddy.
Yeah.
Doing some electrical work.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be doing that for the meantime.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Listen, man, trades are in big demand, huge demand right now. So
world's oldest apprentice.
Well, that's good. Listen, man, you can write your own paycheck when it comes to that sort of stuff. You know, that's great. Residential, commercial. What are you doing? A lot of
residential.
Residential. Eh? Cool, man. That's good, man. So next couple of years, I mean, where do you want to see yourself?
Touring dad.
A touring dad. Hey, listen, be like Pink. Pink has her family, the touring dad. Like, he watches the kids while she sings, right?
Well, we like doing our parties together too, right? So we're gonna start trying to do that a little more as well.
I like that idea where you were doing DJ and she does her music as well.
Yeah, we got one of those coming up soon. She just had to get a different band to play, like not her actual studio band.
Yeah.
She's got another little band that she does gigs with.
Right.
So she's just getting that up to speed. And then we'll start a little rock and raves again.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool, man. I like it. I mean, and on the political side, I mean, are you, you said you're not protesting much, or you're not.
Well, I went to one a couple weeks ago, and it was just to see some people and play some music.
Yeah. But it's not something that you're going to go and that you want to
I
go
don't know, man. This gender nonsense is driving me crazy that they're teaching children in schools now. So, I got a kid that's coming up to school soon, and I will never put that child in a school if they are the way they are now.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
My kid, when she's 4, doesn't need to know pronouns, and she needs to just be a child. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There's the next hatred comments for Allan Spencer.
Just keep your comments down below there. No, just
No.
Hey, listen, man, it's
What an adult chooses to do, I don't care. Keep
Right.
it away from kids.
I agree with you on that. I don't think they should know that young at a school system at all
Kid
about
needs
that.
sex ed when they're like grade 3. Come
Yeah.
on.
Right?
Really?
Can't tie their fucking shoe yet.
Yeah.
So no, I get it. I'm totally with you on that part there.
No, I got to get out to see DJ Dave play live. That's what
Yeah,
I got to
know,
get
man.
out to see.
Yeah, I was supposed to come by last time, but I guess. But my next one will be in.
No, the dog just decided to come
Slides.
and say hello.
Oh yeah. It'll be in January. So that's where, because the corporate stuff happens November, December. So
yeah, you'll be busy.
yeah, and I mean, and plus, no one's going to go out and partying if they've got their own Christmas party going or that. People are not going to be around much. But January, I'll let you know for sure. Come on out, Robin. Maybe I'll get her to. Maybe we'll put something out there. Maybe she can sing for us there. Right?
She's always well.
A couple tracks, right?
Yeah.
So, something to think about. Yeah. Interesting. We can do something like that for sure. Allan, it's always a pleasure, man. I hope we just I wanted to cover your musical journey, and I wanted to cover your thoughts on a lot of political views. I mean, I know there's a lot more out there that we could talk about. But I'm not here to become hated.
Come to the dark side.
Pull you in. But no, I appreciate your openness and me just listening, because I like to listen and just to hear what you have to say about it. The soul shine, I think, is something that I think should be brought out more to people, because mental health, holistic healing, however it may be, it's a big thing, right? I think it's a big, it's a concern for mental health and the ability to understand, whether it's going to be bullying, whether it's going to be this or that, and I like the fact that you have seminars, you have classes,
and it's a kid-friendly space. There's things for kids there as well.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah, that weekend's magical, man. It's life-changing.
I just haven't seen much of it when it was only promoted on your site, like on your Facebook site.
It's small, right? The first year there's 400. This year there's like just over 600 people. It's like,
now, you want to keep it at a certain level of people? I mean, like a certain number of people?
I think we want to grow it a bit more. I mean, but I think it's a slow growth because the food and everything, it's a lot to organize, right?
Right.
So I think they just want to grow it slowly.
Yeah. What was the cost for something like that for a person to?
I think it was like $380
for the weekend, right?
Yeah, but they feed you like a champ 3 times a day. Yeah. And I want to say, you know what? You've always been great with me and supported me, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart with that.
Oh man, don't worry. Yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Because I was just starting to play pretty much, and you provided a platform for it. So.
Yeah. No, and thank you. I appreciate that. I always wanted to. I'm always here to help, and people that I like, I'm going to reach out and help out. I don't reach out to everybody. I try to support a lot of people by going to their gigs. Sometimes it's difficult because they'll be like 7 or 8 gigs going on Friday night that I can't make it to all of them, right? So,
Exactly.
right. But I always try to support them by sharing it on my site, on my feed, and my Facebook or social media, and likewise with you, and you're on my platform and big supporter of my stuff as well, which I appreciate. I wish nothing but the best. I mean, with the family, with the music, I want to see you out there more with the music side of things. Just doing more gigs or pop-ups of parties here and there, because people want that positive vibes back, and forget the political side of this bullshit, right? So
there'll be some parties coming up.
Yeah, and I feel that. I think that's what's going to happen. So did you bring all your equipment down to Mexico or?
Oh yeah,
you did.
I have a Prime Go. It's like that came on the plane with me.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Oh, I didn't let it out of my sight, man.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay, how you like the Prime Go?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Plus, you can play outside for 4 hours with
all
no
battery
generator.
pack.
Yeah,
eh?
it's all battery. Yeah.
Who has it? Rob has it, doesn't Robert? Oh my God. Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
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 I think he has. I think he played one when we're at the T&M Cafe doing an event for Jason or for Pietro, one of the two. I think.
I believe he has one. I think I just seen a video that he put up on Facebook the other day with him playing outside.
And we need that. We need more of that. So I really encourage you to fucking just do it, man.
Oh, if it was summer, I'd totally be.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's good, man. Listen, I appreciate you coming down. I'm glad that you and I spoke, and just to catch up. I mean, we got caught up on some things, and hopefully in the future we get to, you come back in the studio, spin a set for us, and
anytime, man.
And there are times where we're going to be doing, I do talk about the Toronto House Music Festival, how we're going to get that back up and going again.
Nice.
So I wanted to be involved.
I was going to
in
ask
that.
you about that, actually.
Yeah. It's it was fucking like this close to like releasing everything until.
Oh, you got to do it.
Well, until COVID,
Yeah.
that see what happened is that whole bullshit. All the sponsors started to pull out like Hockey Canada is now, right? So they started hearing what's going on. It's not going to happen. We're going to lose your money and blah blah. So I said, you know what? I'm going to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Take all your money back.
Mm-hmm.
So most of them said, no, you hold it in trust until until you build up your next event, and we'll continue on. If obviously what we're going to do is that we had Ontario Place booked.
Is that what you bought your Ferrari out of? I'm just kidding.
You saw the driveway, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, I am not like that.
I know.
You fucker. But it'd be nice to have, though. No, I would never do that. But yeah, so I think the next few years, when things start to really get moving along, it'll happen again. And I want you part of it. So
awesome. For sure.
And we'll make things happen. There's so many talented DJs out there. You know who they are, and there's so many guys and girls out there that are struggling to make it or already doing it. So that's why I love to have these podcasts, because I like to bring these people on board. I want to know what's going on in their head. I want to know what's happening with them. And that's that's for you. I want to find out, hey, what's going on with you? What are we doing? What are you doing? You got a family? How are you going to make it happen? Get some gigs, and it's always good to find these things out, and also to get your perspective on the political views. But I mean, listen, everyone hears and sees the bad sides of a protest. The majority, I think, is going to see the bad sides. I don't know the number statistically, number-wise, but there's a good chunk of people that know that it was never a problem having that protest in Ottawa. It wasn't bad. All the protests that happen here, they're not violent protests.
No, and they were all done for a good reason.
Right.
These people were not doing this for a bad reason.
Right. We're not overturning cars. We're not fucking shooting people.
In their heads, they're trying to save people's lives, not disrupt their lives.
Right. That's probably as far as I'll go with that, because there's the doctors and nurses and all that sort of stuff.
That's right,
But I'd love to know all about that, and hey, listen, man. To this day, there's people who will not leave their house. There's people that will fucking wear their masks outside, wherever they go, they wear their masks. Hey man, to each his own.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever it is,
At this point, I stopped.
It's just
caring.
you just you know what? It's like you want to just spare your energy on that fucking bullshit. Like, don't worry about that shit.
Whatever
anymore.
gets you through the day.
Right?
Yeah.
So, if you didn't have the kid, if you didn't have freedom, how would you be right now? Like, what would your life be like?
I'm scared to know.
What do you think your life would have been?
Well, I don't know, man. I cleaned up pretty good, and it stopped. I was drinking a lot before, right? COVID locked everyone in their house, no job. So when Robin got pregnant, it kind of turned everything around, right? So I don't know where I'd be if that whole thing didn't happen.
Yeah, you figure yourself. You figure.
I don't even want to think about it. Honestly,
now you're gonna think of it like, what the fuck would I have done if we didn't have freedom? But you know what? There's meant to be. It's all there. It's you got a beautiful girl, beautiful partner. Life is good. So just focus on that, and good things are gonna happen. Trust me. You get your head on straight. Yeah, I know the alcohol part of it. When COVID hit, really changed a lot of people.
Well, yeah, they left liquor stores open, so
right. See, that's the thing. It's like fuck, it's fucking crazy.
And it all comes back to politics, Dave.
Right? It all comes back to politics. You're right, absolutely right. In the end, we just play music, have a good time, live life, man.
You got to bring that out as much as you can.
Absolutely, man. I want to say thank you very much for stopping by and coming down to the studio.
Thank you.
And we'll definitely get you back in, do a set. We'll have a party. We'll have just play music, and have a good time. So,
man.
But I appreciate it very much, Allan, for coming down and enjoying the chat with you on the podcast. And any last thing, everybody, thank you for tuning into the Noisy Chair podcast, and we will see you all next week.